All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to USDA's webinar series, Beyond the Dance Floor. We are thrilled today to have Jack Pladdys with us. Jack is an international square dance caller. He is on the CALLERLAB Board of Governors and currently the Executive Committee. He has been very involved in their marketing program. As you know, a few years ago, they developed the marketing manual, but now they've also got a whole lot of new marketing materials that they've put together. And Jack presented for us several months ago about the program. At that time, it wasn't up and running. It is now up and running, and we are ready to have everybody help them develop the database that is going to be showcasing dancing all across the country. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Jack Pladdys. Yay.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate that introduction. So good afternoon, good morning, everybody. Glad you joined us. And I think today's session might be a little bit informative. Some of it is like an update, as Bonnie said, from last year when I presented some of the things that the marketing committee was working on. And some of those things have come to fruition. They're really exciting. And then I'm also adding in an update on a local square dance club that I work with, the results of their hard work and some of the things they've done. I've got a new part of the presentation from another caller, and we're even going to talk about video ads and whatnot. So let me share my screen and we'll kind of just get started. And anytime that you're wanting to ask a question or something like that, if it's purely important at the time, please, raise your hand or try to stop me. If not, put it in the chat. So everybody can see my screen. Thumbs up. Okay, good. All right. So today's July 15th, and this is for the USDA seminar, and this is called Marketing's Newest Tools. Well, I can't get my screen to work. There we go. So I'm going to talk about the CALLERLAB marketing website. It's a fantastic tool for everyone to use. I'm going to talk about the new promotional videos that are up and running and available for use. We're going to get into the marketing plan for the local club I talked about, Frontier Squares. And basically, I presented the plan last year. I won't go into full detail on the plan, but I will give you an update of the success I had with what we did last year. There's a club out of Memphis, Tennessee, that a good friend of mine and the current vice chairman of the marketing committee, Justin Russell, calls for, called the Top Spinners, and they did some things that's kind of different, and we'll talk about that. There's a new thing that's come up, and I just added this to the presentation within the last day, and that's radio ads in Denver. And then we've got some really new cool stuff from Square Dance Tech that I want to share with you. Many of you know who Ray Owens is, and he's really come on the scene and doing some fantastic work for Square Dance. So let's get into marketing's newest tools, the CALLERLAB website. So if you go to www.callerlab.org, you're going to find a wealth of material that you can use in square dancing. CALLERLAB really works hard in providing professional leadership and training for our professional leaders, and this website is dedicated to just that, to developing callers and furthering their education in efforts to grow our activities. If you go to this particular website, this is what's going to open up. This will be the page that opens up. This is a picture from one of our conventions a couple of years ago. And basically, this was at one of the banquets we had. And I'll show you how important I am. I'm way back there. Okay, so that's how important I am to the activity. Now I'm just thinking. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch out here. I'm going to take us right to the marketing part of the CALLERLAB website. All right, you see that okay? Shake your head, yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So anyway, let's click on the home link. As I said, when you first come to this site, you'll get this particular banner, and you can read through this. I'm not going to go through the whole site and everything. I just want to share the marketing part of it with you. So if you come over, when you first log on, if you come over to committees, and then if you arrow down to where it says marketing, that'll bring up the marketing committee. And then generally the first part of the marketing committee portion of the website will be more or less a press release, and it just talks about all the new things that's going on. I'm just going to arrow straight down and show you a couple of the new things that's going on. First of all, promotional videos. These promotional videos are awesome, and they're available for you to use, for anyone to use. This first one, this big one, it's about a 4-minute, maybe 5-minute promotional video. It really talks about some pretty cool stuff. I'm going to just play a couple seconds of it, a few seconds of it, just to give you an idea.
The next thing I knew is I was calling and dancing 5 nights a week. There's a lot of things that I like about square dancing.
It's really good interactive skill. You're moving a lot, you're using muscles that you didn't think you had. Not only do I reach my 10,000 steps that day, but I usually go into 15 to 20,000 steps.
So it's not like pumping at the gym or anything, but it's a good evening of kind of low impact, good balance exercise.
My heart doctor says square dancers are best patients. A lot of people don't know this, but
So I'm going to stop that one. And along with the long promotional video, and you can see this one's pretty long. It's 3 minutes and 40 seconds. So if you were to put that on Facebook or something like that, if you're like me, I start looking at something. If it's that long, I watch about a minute of it and then move on to something else, unless it's just really grabbing me. So what we've done is we put together 2 shorter promotional videos that work great for social media. Now, this first one, that would work great to put on your website, your club websites and things like that, link it to that. But these 2 down here, what they are short promotional videos that work fantastic on social media, on Facebook or whatever. Let's look at one.
What do I love about square dancing? It's a great low-impact exercise where I can socialize and make new friends. My muscle memory has improved and I feel energized after every event. I love the variety of music, from classic rock to pop renditions. I love watching everyone smiling and having a good time. I was a beginner with no experience whatsoever, but the lessons quickly taught me all the steps. Discover the fun of square dancing like I did and visit livelively.squaredance.com.
And that's it for that one. The other one, by the way,
What do
these,
I love about square
by the way, these 2 were we actually got professional actors to do the voiceover for these. And here's one with the male voice.
Square dancing has given me a fun new activity to look forward to. I love the variety of music, from classic rock to pop songs that we dance along to. It gives me a great low-impact exercise. Yeah, I was intimidated at first, but the lessons are very easy and fun, and I've made some great friends at each event. It's a very relaxed environment, and everyone is super friendly. It's like a social hour where you dance. Do yourself a favor and visit livelively.squaredance.com to find a square dancing event in your area.
So what we can do at CALLERLAB is we can also work with you and actually, where you saw that banner at the end where it said livelively.squaredance.com, we can actually add your club information on that. So if you wanted to put something together for social media in your local area, and then at the very end, we can put your club, we could say visit, blah, blah, blah.com to find out more about lessons, or you can even put a phone number there if you that advantageous and things like that. We can do that with CALLERLAB. All you need to do is get a hold of the home office, and there'll be ways to do that. So those are the promotional videos. We also have a new website that is actually really, really cool, and it gives a very good representation of what square dancing is to the non-dancing public. This one, I think every club should link to their websites. We're going to take a look at that. Let's see, I got it right up here.
Jack, I muted you when I added a bunch of people that were coming in. My apologies.
How long ago was that?
30 seconds at the
Oh, okay.
most.
Anyway, so the last thing I probably said before I got here was that on those particular small videos, we can actually edit the end of those videos to add your information, your club information, your local callers association, your local dance association, whatever you want in there. All you need to do is call the CALLERLAB or contact the CALLERLAB home office. Now I'm showing the our new promotional website that is used for strictly educating the non-dancing public in our interpretations of what square dancing really is. This doesn't go into huge detail, but it kind of like wets their whistle and makes them want to look at more. We along the top of it, of course, the URL is livelively.squaredance.com. Pretty simple to know. Used to belong to the arts, and they gave it to us. And along the top, it just talks about who, what, where, why, how, our community, and the contact information. Every page will reference that big video that you saw, okay? And dancers can go look at that if they non-dancers can go look at that. If they get as far as looking at the video, they may stop and look at the entire 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Every page has contact information. There will be this particular thing called Find the Contact. And Bonnie brought it up a few minutes ago about helping populate our interactive map. I'm going to get into that in just a second, but that's where you're going to find the contact. And then down at the bottom, you'll see information where you can contact the home office if you need to contact the home office and maybe get some help on adding that video to your website, or would like to fix the trailer of the video so that your information's on there. There's the information you can reach out to. So let's talk about each page. First page is who, all right? And it just basically talks about who can square dance, the benefits of square dancing. Is there a dress code? What kind of music do you play? Little questions, little FAQs. Second one is what? What is square dancing? This short narrative of what square dancing is. And guess what? There's that video again. And there's that find the contact again. So every page that they go to within this website, they'll be able to find the contact. Where can I sign up? Well, guess what? Find the contact. Why? Just talks about some of the benefits of square dancing, physical, social, mental, the whole 9 yards. I'm not going to go through each one of these. And then a how, okay, just talk more about the dress code, things like that. Our community, we've got more videos these are our videos, of course. I'm not sure they're up on this site yet. Yes, they are. Very good. We've got these 3 videos, and then we're going to be adding more as this website develops. And then of course, we got contact again. And look up here in the corner, find the contact. Well, I'll tell you what, let's talk about find the contact. This is probably the most exciting part of this whole project. Now, when you click on that find the contact, this map will show up. And I know that looks really, really busy, but you can come over to the left and you can make that map smaller or bigger. And you can start, you can even drag it if you want. And you can start looking in your local area. Let's see here. Yeah, that says Tijuana, but I'll bet you that's San Diego because I don't think there's any square dancing in Tijuana. So let's go down and make it bigger. And let's go down and make it even bigger here. We're getting closer. Whoops, I lost it. Let's click on this one here. San Diego Square Dance Association. I saw somebody here from San Diego, and it actually shows how they can get to that website, and it's got an email of who they can reach, the president of the SDA.org. This is perfect, okay, and I'll tell you why. Because that president at SDSDA.org that particular email is probably going to transfer to the next president. Instead of having George Jones at gmail.com, and then when George Jones is no longer president, then Tammy Wynette's president, we got a new email. If you have one email that transfers to each president, then we don't have to update the website or the map so much. But we will. We'll do it, whatever it needs to be done. Now we took part of our committee got together, and we went out and got as many contacts as we could. You can see them all around the U.S., but we still got a lot of work to do, and you can see them in Canada as well. We want to make this a worldwide map, interactive map. So that's our next project, but we need help, all right? And this would be a great project for the USDA to help us. But we want to be able to pinpoint square dancing in every major city, every major community. We do not want to use individual club names, okay? Because then it could get wild. Every city's got 15 clubs, and it could get really difficult to find. What we would like to use is association names that association contact information that will point to the local clubs when someone contacts them. If it's from the west side of Cincinnati, then when that person contacts the Greater Cincinnati Dancers Association, they will contact somebody on the west side and give them that information, or on the east side, or on the north side, or something like that. So that's what we'd like. We'd like it to be a little bit more generic and not down to specific clubs or colleges. We would prefer associations. We don't mind college associations, but we really prefer dancer associations. Now, the exception to that rule is sometimes things can get pretty rural. Let's just say probably in Wyoming, and I think I saw somebody from Wyoming on there. Probably in Wyoming, there's not a lot of dancer associations, but there may be a little club over here in this part of Wyoming. Well, if that's the only thing there, it's just that little tiny club, then we'll go ahead and list those things. So when things get a little bit rural, Tennessee's the same way. Tennessee is a long state. Okay. Tennessee goes from here to here. And along the way, there's a couple little clubs that don't belong to a association or anything. We'll list those clubs if they want to do that. But that's our interactive map. That's going to be a really cool feature, and it's going to be a big project to keep maintained throughout the year. We've got a team of 4 people on the marketing committee that's going to be our maintenance people for our website, and this is going to be one of their biggest things. So soon you will see a press release come out on how you can help us do this. But in the meantime, if you've got something you would like to add to the website and to the interactive map, please contact the home office. Please contact the home office at this information, and we'll get that put on the website. All right, moving on. Let's get back to your presentation. So basically, there you are. Whoops, back right there. So basically, there you are. That's what you're going to see when you open up the marketing website. You're going to see the promotional image. Actually, it's already there, so it's not coming soon anymore. And you're going to see all that. There's also more marketing resources. The marketing manual, as Bonnie said, and that's on the website. Marketing manual translated to Japanese. All different kind of presentations and things like that could be used. So use it. It's free, and the whole website's free to you, and all the materials free. It's a lot of great information, and a lot of people put a lot of hard work getting it all together. So switching gears, I want to talk about one of my own local clubs. Probably this club is the reason I've been asked to be a part of the marketing committee in the first place several years ago, because we do have a fantastic marketing strategy at Frontier Squares, and we've been going through it. Well, of course, everybody got interrupted with COVID, but we've been going through this since about 2015, And it's really developed great results. Our club was right before COVID, we were up to 200 members. And then, of course, we've lost some membership through COVID and whatnot. So we're now down to about 130. But I know a lot of clubs that would die to have 130 members. But we're working at it. And this is what we do. So the marketing strategy is get them in the door. Okay, that's the key thing. I mean, that's everybody's marketing strategy, right? All right. So we developed, I won't say we developed, we use and probably made it at least famous throughout the Midwest, reusable yard signs. We were one of the first clubs that really got into doing this, and many clubs have gone, have followed suit. In 2015, we spent about $300 on 50 brand new signs. Okay, all right. This year we spent about $100 on advertising and printing expense. Okay, and I'm going to show you some of those things we did. We did calls to former members, and a lot of clubs do this. Okay, this is not all brand new stuff, but it's stuff that we did and just stayed on top of it. We did business cards placed in medical offices, laundromats, grocery stores, fitness centers, etc. We do a free, and I'll give a little bit more on this in a minute. We do a free chili supper on the first night. If there's anything that gets people in the door, it's food. Okay, if you say on the left we're going to have a square dance, on the right we're going to have free chili, the line will be on the right. Okay, so if you provide a free chili and then start square dancing in the middle of it, it makes it even better. We do flyers, tear-offs, local paper ads, etc. A lot of that stuff. You know, a lot of little communities have local papers, and you can a lot of times put an ad in there for free for your community project. We have a website with a fillable contact form for new prospective dancers. If brand new people ever do enough Googling and they go to a website, they can get a hold of us through there. We've created 8x11 car window signs, which includes a QR code linking to our club website. They're placed in plastic sleeves and posted on the rear passenger window behind the driver, because that's the only window that will not obstruct the driver's vision, if you think about it. Also posted on bulletin boards at churches, grocery stores, laundromats, etc. And that QR code will take you to the website. Families and friend night, 2 months prior to our chili supper. What this is, and I don't know if anybody watched my keynote speech at Mobile, but this is a project that we started several years ago, and a lot of people call it their open house night, maybe at their club right before they do lessons. Well, we decided we want the community to know what we do as a club. So our family and friends night is on club night. We actually changed our normal plus night to a family and friends one night party. We usually do it around October. We invite the entire community, because many people in the community know that there's a square dance club there, but they have no clue what we do. You know, some people think we're in there drinking and partying, you know, that kind of thing. No, a lot of people don't know. So we invite them. Come see us. This is what we do. We usually do this 2 months prior to our chili supper. However, at this particular dance, we don't sit there and start selling lesson classes. We just dance them. This is what we do. We make them ask us, well, how do I get to be a part of this? Okay. And we don't do any promotion. That's what we do at least 2 months out. It's fresh in their mind. And then a month later, they're going to start seeing some promotion stuff come out. I also work with my club to get together as many little one-night parties and things like that we can do. Recently, we sponsored there's a local Christian organization that has a father-daughter dance every year. And usually they get a DJ and they do line dancing and stuff like that. But we approached them and said, how would you like us to sponsor your dance and do a square dance? And it was fantastic. And they actually netted some people into our lesson class. Tonight, in fact, I'm doing another one of these for several of our club members at their church, not too far from home. And, you know, here it is. We start our lesson classes in January. So it's not like we're sitting and promoting lessons tonight. But what we're doing is we're showing the community what we do as a club. If the community is aware of what you're doing, then they may want to be more part of it. But probably the most effective thing we've ever done is the yard signs. And we say they're yard signs, but they're really not yard signs, okay? All right, the signs are 18 by 24 signs, bright yellow with black lettering, and they simply read just that. No other stuff, no websites, none of that kind of stuff, no QR codes. These are the same kind of signs that are used by realtors and other groups, contractors, and they usually put them out on corners, and you drive by them and see them and everything, right? They're the same kind of signs. This year, when we started our lesson class in January this year at our chili supper, we had 85 dancers, non-dancers, attend our chili supper. Okay, that's why we do the chili supper. It helps bring them in. We're promoting a community-free chili supper, and then after about an hour of eating chili, then we start dancing. And but of the 85 dancers that came that night and over the initial first 3 weeks, 75% of those people actually found out about our club through these yard signs. Okay, now there might not be all 85 of them made phone calls, but at least the rest of them were either friends or family of the people that made the phone calls. So you kind of have to associate them as finding out by yard signs. Here's our sign strategy. Map out a plan of the club's neighboring communities, usually within about a 10-mile radius. In most communities, especially in more larger cities, a 10-mile radius is a lot of people. And there's a lot of people in that particular radius. So 10 miles is probably enough. Now, if you're out in big rural community, you might want to move out a little bit more if you're in farmland or something like that. Identify strategic locations. The best is heavy intersections where drivers stop for the traffic signal or a stop sign. It makes no sense to me, okay, to send 50 yard signs home with everybody and put them in their yard, okay? That can be done also, but that can't be the number one strategy of putting yard signs out, because most people don't stop in front of your house and look at that yard sign. Most people drive by and can barely read it as they're driving by, okay? Certainly they can't take down a 7-digit phone number or a 10-digit phone number, all right? We use a 7-digit because we only have one area code. But I would suspect LA and San Diego and Chicago and places like that have more than one area code, so they probably have a 10-digit phone number on it. You need to put these things in areas that, well, learn from the realtors. Wherever they put them, you put them on the opposite corner. You don't want to put them on the same corner as the realtors, because they actually went to the city and got permission to do that. And so that's their space, and they actually have sign police running around checking out if people are putting signs in front of their signs, and if they are, they're pulling them up and taking them away. But put them in the same area. You want to put them somewhere where cars are going to stop and sit for a while, either at red lights or 4-way stop signs or something like that. Most people, if they look at the sign and they're sitting there at the stoplight and they want to get information, they'll pick up their phone right then and dial the number. They won't write it down. They'll just pick up the phone and dial the number right there. But if they're driving by your house, they're not going to dial the number. They won't see it. So look for places where cars are going to stop. Start placing the signs out about 8 weeks prior to your chili supper. Actually, we only did about a month last year because we were still, in the post-COVID area, and we wanted to rebuild, but we didn't want to, step on toes. And this year we're going full force. And even last year, this past year, well, the current year, our results are going to be very good. You can see those in a minute. Working in groups of 2, signs are placed in designated locations that we mapped out earlier on Friday afternoon or evening, and then they're retrieved on Sunday evening. Municipalities and townships are far less likely to confiscate any signs on the weekend. They will confiscate them Monday through Friday, but late Friday into Sunday night, they're not working either, so they're not going to go out and confiscate signs. So if you want to, save your signs, that's the way to do it. You're welcome to do Monday through Friday, but it may not be as effective. Make it fun for your workers. Just something we do. Our group gets together, they have breakfast before they go out and start putting their signs out, or they have lunch before they put their signs out. And then they even do something in the evening on Sunday when they go pick them back up. Now, we lost about 50% of our signs, but we expected that over the course of the advertising campaign. And we've done this every year since 2015. It's a small price to pay considering the results. And here's the results of this year. Okay, so the facts results for our 2023 new dancer program. And mind you, I said we didn't go full force this year. The year before COVID, we went full force. When we shut down on March 12th of 2020, we closed down a class of 64 brand new dancers. And we were rocking. That class had been in for 3 months when we had to shut it down. So this year we received a little over 100 phone calls from the signs. We had 85 brand new visitors attend the first 3 weeks of our new dancer nights. Our second phase of advertising was focused on past members who faded away from dancing. As of week 16, and actually we're into week 23 or 24, so I need to update this. We had retained 38 new dancers and 8 retreads. And as of this past week, we still have around the same amount. We have a member, this is what gets me the most. We have a member angel attendance of over 40 to 50 people each week. And we charge our angels. It helps pay our bills. And our angels have no problem paying it. We dance 8 to 10 squares every Tuesday night. This past Tuesday night, we had 9 squares. It's more than our regular Friday night club dancers. I call for the club once a month and they get guest callers. And sometimes we generally only get 7 or 8 squares at club dancers, but we're getting 8 to 10 on Tuesday night every week. So we've turned Tuesday night into almost our second club night. And it's fun for the dancers. It's fun for the new people to learn. And it's just a success story. And it's been like this every year since 2015. And we're going to really go full force this year doing it. Another club not too far from here in Memphis called the Top Spinners did some pretty other cool stuff. Now, mind you, their club is a little younger than our club. So they're using some other things. They're using social media. There's a lot more of their advertising things. And they're using Facebook. They're using Meetup, a thing called Meetup. They're developing a lot of social media type stuff, and they're picking up a lot of members. They spent $312 on Facebook ads. So I guess you have to pay for Facebook ads. I'm not real familiar with that. Justin Russell out of Memphis, Tennessee. If you're interested in this, can be more beneficial to help you. They had 23 beginners at their open house. 18 have signed up for their whole beginner series. So to them, that's a very, very successful story. They spent $550 in advertising with an income of $900 for 12-week SSB series. So that's a win. They might have spent some money, but the result is 23 dancers or 18 dancers stayed and are dancing with them on a weekly basis. I mentioned Meetup. They use the Meetup thing. I think Justin said it costs about $100, so $218 a year for them to be a part of this Meetup thing. But apparently it has 623 members. They don't have a clear result that is profitable, but they do get a lot of questions about every time they post something about new lessons or a party or something like that. So that's what Meetup's all about. It's a social get-together type place online where people can go find events and things like that. Their New Year's resolution in January includes, they get involved in a lot of community things. So that shows, and people see that. So get your clubs involved. Pick a a project, a community project, or some sort of a charitable donation project that you can be involved in. Plus, that's all part of our activity, is being socially engaged, so that helps. One thing I passed on this, I missed on this, I want to bring it back. I thought it was pretty cool. Right here, they call it Square Dance Sampler. Never heard it called the sampler before, but I thought that was a pretty cool idea. I'm going to use that in some future advertising. Now I want to get to something that's really exciting to me, and this is brand new. All right. Bear Miller out of Denver shared with me a new project 2 of his clubs that he teaches for is doing. And they're working on together. And I want to give, if anybody from these clubs are here, I want to give kudos on this, because this is not a cheap project. All right. But the rolling wheels and the square hubs got together, and they put together a radio ad project. Okay. So thank you for stepping up into the marketing world. So they purchased a series of radio ads for 2 weeks prior to the start of their new class, which is coming up July 24th. So unfortunately, we don't have results yet because they're right in the middle of this project. And but I'm really looking forward to what this next one. They're 30-second ads. They air 6 times daily on one of the local country radio stations. Now Bear told me that this particular radio station is actually the #2 country radio station in the Denver area. It's not on the #1, but I would think the #2 country station is still getting a lot of airplay. All right. The jury's still out. Okay. Hopefully we'll have a success story to share after the class starts. A group from Tulsa, Oklahoma, that I believe Mike Hogan was involved with, and I haven't got all the detail on this one yet, had the same success, had a very successful result using the same approach, apparently graduating 80 brand new dancers. So I've got the 2 ads here. I'm going to play the 2 ads. They're 30-second ads, but they're pretty cool. So imagine you're listening to the radio right now, and country song just went off, and this is what pops in.
Why waste your money on another boring gym membership when you know you're not going to go? Square dancing is a fun way to get in shape and burn calories. Get off the couch, kick up your heels, and learn to square dance with Denver area square dancers. Starting Monday, July 24th from 7 until 9 p.m. Only $10 per person per night at the Wheat Ridge Grange, 3850 High Court. You don't have a partner? Don't worry. Come anyway. For more information, visit them on the web at squaredancedenver.org. That's squaredancedenver.org.
So that was the first one, and I kind of like that one. Okay, the second one is pretty good, but personally, I like the first one.
Looking for something fun for the entire family? Kick up your heels and learn to square dance with Denver area square dancers. Starting Monday, July 24th from 7 until 9 p.m. Only $10 per person per night. Bring family, friends, or just yourself to the Wheat Ridge Grange at 3850 High Court. Kids 12 and up are welcome if accompanied by an adult. For more information, visit them at squaredancedenver.org. That's squaredancedenver.org.
I really appreciate these guys doing this. And I know I'm going to leave this part for the questions, because I know somebody's going to ask me, well, how much did that cost? And we're going to talk about that, okay? But I'll let somebody ask me first. So, like I said, the jury's still out on this, and Bear Miller out of Denver, Colorado is the teacher, and he's going to be willing to share all his success, hopefully success. If you want to contact Bear, real easy email address is beardenver@comcast.net. And I will be waiting patiently. I have to do this presentation again on the 29th of this month live, and I want to be able to give them some results of this. Moving on, maybe one of the more progressive guys that I've met in square dancing in a long time is a guy named called Ray Owens. And if you ever get a chance to meet Ray, he's one of a kind. And he's really wanting to bring square dancing into the 21st century. he works hard at doing it. I was the first one that started doing online payments for weekends with him and things. He's actually the webmaster of my website, and Tony Octavine's website, and many other callers out there. Dan Nordnews, Hunter Kellers, and he's working with many callers around the country now, but I was his first. He's really doing some really cool things on the marketing side. And in a way, not that I don't appreciate everything that Slate Advertising did for us, but in a way, I wish we'd have had Ray in our pocket before we got with Slate Advertising, because I love the way he's doing things. I want to share some of the things that you can get from his website. And his website is squaredancetech.com. Okay, there's a lot of stuff on his website. You can see all the stuff at the top of the banner. Okay, but three things that I think are just fantastic are the video flyers, the artwork, and the promotional videos right there. So let's take a look at the video flyers first. We're just going to make it quick. Okay. Let's see here. So this is a video flyer, all right? And I'm going to go ahead and play this particular one. Hopefully it's the one I'm thinking of, all right? And he actually puts these together himself. Okay, I'm sure that goes on for a little bit longer, but and that's just basically one of the video flyers. If you click on that link, you can go in and see the hamburger icon. I'm not sure. Anyway, click on the hamburger icon, upper right corner, see all the videos. So there you go. So that way you can see all kinds of different videos that he's put together. They're video flyers, and then you just put them on social media, your Facebook or whatever the case may be. All right. Also, let's see, where's the artwork? This
Did
is
that
cool.
flyer have music with it?
Pardon me?
Did that have music with it? Because we couldn't hear any music.
Oh, you couldn't hear the music on that one?
No.
Yes, it did have music. Oh, let's see if this. Let's see. Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't have the. Maybe I had this thing muted. Let's see if this one works. Because this one is really cool. This talks about artwork that's free to you. All right. This one's not quite as long. It's only a minute and a half. You hear music?
No.
I don't know why the music isn't running. What if it's my. How about now?
Here a little bit. On my end, it just sounds like it's cutting in and out.
Yeah, well, it's got music, but the intent is showing all the particular artwork. It's really cool. And all this artwork's available to you. That he's kind of going through on the advertising area. He has all this stuff on this square dance dot tech. Just go on to the section for artwork, arrow down, and you'll be able to get all that art. Pretty cool. So when you're making flyers and posters and things like that. Now this is something I think is really, really cool. And this is available to you. And this is why I wish we'd had Ray before us, because with us before we started our other promotional videos, because he's put together some pretty cool ones too. And I think you're going to like some of these. I'll take you down to one of my favorite ones. But he's got all different kinds of videos on here. There's buffering. It always does this when I'm doing a presentation, right? And of course, everything's buffering now, right? Well, let's thumb through several of these. See if I can get to it from the presentation. Let's try that. That's my presentation. Oh, here we go. Now they're coming in. All right. So these are all different types of videos that you can see. Okay. They're promotional videos. You've got circles. I like this one. This one's kind of cool. It's called Heroes. Hopefully you can hear the music. Can you hear the music?
I cannot. I don't know about anybody else.
No,
No.
I can't hear music.
I'm not sure what the difference is. Well, if you go to the website, you can hear the music. Maybe because it's coming from his website to somebody else's.
Well, if you'd stop the screen share and make sure the share computer sound is on, then it might work. I don't know why it worked originally and then didn't work.
Yeah. Actually, we'll just go ahead and I'll just go ahead and share this with you. So as you're going through all these, okay, you can see the different videos that you can go in. You can customize. There's no cost. He doesn't charge or anything. But it's got different kind of promotional videos. Let's stop that one for a second. And let's go to this one. And you're welcome to sit and I wish the volume was working. I'm so sorry. But this is another one that he put out there, and it calls it Circles. And you can put it on your social media, you can put it on your website and whatnot. And then at the end of it, you can still tag your club's name and information, and he'll help you do that. This is just a series of a bunch of pictures. It just shows a lot of people having a lot of fun. Let me show you one that he did for me that I'm sure has sound. Give me 1 second here. Now, I just did the keynote speech at the Mobile convention, and he created this one to start off the convention.
If you want to have someone to hold on to.
Now, did you hear music?
Yes.
Okay, here it comes. So the theme to my speech was dance like nobody's watching. So I went to Ray and I said, Ray, can you create a short video that I can use as the opening presentation for my thing? So you'll see in this video, you'll see Tony Oxidine, of course myself, Tony Oxidine, Ted Lazat, Jet Roberts, Tom Davis, Tina and Tom Wilkins, who are the general chairman of the convention, Teresa Berger, who is the executive director of CALLERLAB, and of course, my beautiful wife, Sherry. Okay. I thought this is the kind of work that Ray does. And you can reach out to Ray, and he does so much great stuff.
Have someone to hold on to. You're gonna have to learn to let go. You got to say, like you don't need somebody. Like you never get hurt. You got to dance. Like nobody's watching. Gotta come from your heart if you want it to work. If you want to.
I'll do that. But I thought that was really cool. And that's the kind of work that Ray does. So don't be afraid to reach out to Ray. Go to his website. If you need help putting together a promotional thing for your club or your organization, he'll be glad to do it. And he is so good about getting things done quickly for you. I can't say more about Ray. We needed him 10 years ago, 15 years ago, before the decline started really coming in. But it's not too late to get into the 21st century. So basically, that's pretty much all I've got that's going on new with marketing, some of the things that are coming to the forefront of marketing. I hope it was enlightening and gave you some sort of direction to head towards as far as getting ready to start the promotional season. I know a lot of clubs start their promotional season about now, getting ready for September starts. Other clubs are starting in January like mine. It just takes a little work and using the resources that are available to you. So I'm going to stop sharing and open it up for questions now.
Thank you very much, Jack. I think most of the questions that came through on the chat have gotten answered. One question was, when was the map last updated? The map showing where the square dance organizations are.
I can't answer that. I should have gotten that information from Teresa before I got there, but I think the last update would probably have been around April.
Okay. And when do you anticipate that press release going out that will ask people or give people the opportunity to directly contribute to that map as opposed to going through the CALLERLAB website?
Probably as soon as I get it done.
Okay.
I'll try to have that done within the next few weeks. I've got a few other projects I'm working on right now. So I'll probably have that out, that press release out by the middle of August. Okay.
And will that be like in the form of a fillable form that they can just type in their information and send it in, or
that's what our game plan is to have a fillable form so that when they go to the website to have more information in, they just click on the form, fill out the form, and then it automatically comes to me and to me, the marketing committee, and to the home office, and then we can collaborate and get it done. That is exactly what we're going to do.
All right, great. Does anybody else have any other questions for Jack in relation to the marketing program?
Yeah, Jack, I think you gave us a lot of great insights into where we can go to get things done, and it's a big help. Super job.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
We've got here in California, I mean, Bonnie's going to work with us on a project in September at our state meeting, and we'll maybe use some of this stuff. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to put my own plug in. I was lucky enough to attend the CALLERLAB convention this year.
Yeah, we love having you too.
Oh, well, thank you. And I've been lucky enough to work with people like Jack for a while now, but attending that CALLERLAB convention as a dancer was really valuable because you learn more about these upcoming projects. And I would encourage any of you or any people in your area that if it's at all possible, you should attend the CALLERLAB convention because you'll learn a lot. It's a great way for our organizations to interact with each other, and we learn a lot from each other. And so I do thank USDA for that opportunity, and I'm going to try to go on my own next year just for that very reason, because it continues. We get the heads up about stuff that their committees are working on, and they give us a chance to share what we're working on.
Yep, and next year it's in
Grapevine, Texas.
Grapevine, Texas. Right next to the.
Yeah. So does anybody have any other questions or comments about this?
Well, let me ask a question then, because nobody else asked it. How much do the radio ads cost?
Oh, yeah.
Glad you brought that up, Jack. All right. So it really depends on, what radio station you go to, how they're rated, things like that. Of course, you want to try to find a radio station that's going to be playing, something that's going to be marketing the type of type of people we want to come square dancing, So oftentimes talk radio doesn't necessarily market to the type of people that go square dancing or stuff like that. So it's probably going to be a music thing. In this particular case, they went to Country Western. They paid about $5,000 for their 2 weeks of ads 6 times a day. Now that sounds like a lot of money. It does. And that's why they got 2 clubs together in their association and whatnot. But if you think about it, they're charging $10 a person. I don't know what your areas charge. Our area doesn't charge that much. I wish they did. I'm trying to get work on it, but we're in the Midwest. Things are a little cheaper, I guess. But if you look at what the group in Tulsa did, okay, they had 80 dancers for 12 weeks. So you take 12 weeks times 80 dancers times $10. Their net income was 96, or gross income was $9,600. So if they spent anywhere from 5,000 to 9,000 on radio ads, and if their results were mostly from those radio ads, that was probably worth it. That's why I'm waiting to see what comes back. So it's not an easy project. This year, the marketing committee has made that one of our top projects to look into. These radio ads by Bear and by Mike Hogan, they weren't done through the CALLERLAB marketing committee. They just kind of did them on their own. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Hunter Keller also did some radio ads. I think he did the voiceover on it for his area, but it might have been a little cheaper because his area is very, very rural. But we're taking this on as a project for this year. So if anybody has got any information that they would like to help me get our committee as far as researching what it takes to do radio ads and how we can find funds to help support local areas for doing radio ads, I'd really appreciate it.
We did have a question from Martha Weber. Martha, did your question get answered? Your hand was up on the screen. Martha, can you unmute yourself?
Okay, I didn't ask a question. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I saw your little hand up.
But I think I
icon.
will make one comment that this may require a 501c3 thing. Digital video ads, the screens that are in various communities is another place to look for certain types of organizations. If they have some free space at certain times, they may put some ads up for you for free.
Well, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, there you go. Anyone else have any other comments or questions for Jack or for the group in general?
Well, my 2 cents is I've always said you need to find an existing group of people that already have something in common and interest them in square dancing. And that's what I've done.
Oh, that's good. I think Jack made a couple of good points in their promotion and in the ads that were out there, many people feel you have to have a partner to learn to square dance. And so if your club welcomes single dancers, be sure you identify that. Also the age range. One of the radio ads commented that, you know, youth 12 and over, as long as they're accompanied by adults, can be included. So those are vital pieces to slip into your advertising and promotion budgets, is to let people know they're welcome or not. I mean, if you're really only accepting couples, then you really don't want to encourage the singles to attend,
Right.
because
So-
nothing makes them feel more welcome than being told at the door, where's your partner?
Yeah, I can't imagine any clubs these days not accepting singles. I remember the day
I
when,
agree.
yeah, I remember the day when clubs said couples only. But these days I can't imagine, you know, my feeling now is that sooner or later, we're all going to be single. So
Yeah.
we need to embrace the single community. One of the things, now that you brought that up, Bonnie, if you don't mind me commenting, one of the things that I think is really great for this activity is Vic and Debbie Cedar put together this program called Square Rotation. And it has a singles rotation. Now, I mentioned earlier that my Tuesday night club, or actually my Tuesday night class, this is my Friday night club that does a Tuesday night class. We run around 10 squares every Tuesday night. We do the singles. We use the rotation for our Tuesday night, for our lesson classes. A lot of people don't use that rotation program till advanced. We use it in our very beginner. We have a lot of singles, and as most areas are probably the same, you know, our single ladies outnumber our single men, and so the square rotation program works really good, where it automatically picks who dances with who, and it's pretty cool. Everybody embraces it; they like it. You know, at first they were a little nervous about using it, but after a couple of weeks, and they saw what it did and how cool it was. And then if a couple is very adamant about not splitting up, the program will let you mark that couple not to split up. So it kind of makes everybody happy. So just my 2 cents on that. Sorry.
No, I think that's great. And I, as a dancer who dances both lead and follow, you know, I find that very handy. And I've got friends who came back to square dancing after about 20 years, and they went through the refresher class, and now they're going through it again as reverse partners so that they can split up and fill gaps and, you know, dance in those open positions when there is an off number those particular nights. And I think encouraging people to do that and taking away the stigma of, oh, you're dancing the boys part or you're dancing the girls part. Sometimes that can be more fun when you mix it up and keep your interest going. So I agree. I think that there aren't many clubs that keep the singles out anymore, but, you know, be open to lots of different opportunities to fill those openings. All right. Any other questions or comments for Jack? All right. Well, I want to thank you all for participating in today's webinar. I especially want to thank Jack for taking out the time to share this information with us. I agree. I think it's very valuable information, and it's very exciting to see what CALLERLAB has put together and what is being made available free of charge to so many of our clubs. We all need that extra assistance. So I think this is terrific. So thank you all. And if there's no other comments, I'm going to turn off the recording, and we'll close out this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all for having me today.